Chapter 4. The Problem of Being Honest with Yourself. When you first came to this world, you were raw desire. The id rages with unbounded ambition for self-satisfaction. When we realize there are boundaries, we have to come to terms with those limitations. Everyone sees a slightly different, if not profoundly different, perspective than one another. Some of us will have to adapt less than others. Some of us will be equipped with the tools to handle our problems with an attentive mind and a healthy body. Whatever your case may be, coming to terms with being content with what you have is difficult. The id will not go down without a fight. You may find yourself in a crisis where you cannot resolve your desire with reality. The ego does not have all the tools to negotiate every problem with the id. Sometimes the ego's only solution is to lie to yourself. Denial is called a self-defense mechanism because it is the ego's way of protecting you. Your ego likes to protect you from something called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the uncomfortable feeling that arises when we maintain two opposing thoughts in our mind at the same time. When I was in the 4th grade, I asked a girl to date me. She said no. I didn't like that. I had this idea in my head that I had enough value to be worthy of her acceptance. When my experience gave me feedback that opposed my preconceived notions, I was left with two opposing thoughts. Until I accepted that she really didn't want to date me, I had to experience cognitive dissonance. It can get worse. Realizing that you will die one day, while at the same time wanting to live forever, can result in cognitive dissonance. The ego can choose to deny the concept of death for as long as possible. The postponement of the idea of death eliminates discomfort until the idea arises either through external stimuli or internal experience. Reading this paragraph should make someone who is in the position that I am describing to feel uncomfortable. This is the crisis of being honest with yourself, and thus the crisis of being honest with others. You were never given answers. You were given desires and restrictions. Whether you realize it or not, the only way to find peace and balance with all of this is to grow who you are. In other words, it means that you are sharpening your mind, emotional intelligence, and spiritual strength. You are strengthening the self. This power of the self is the only long-lasting power there is in this world. Hone it well. Political, financial, and physical power can fade over time. Others can take it from you. No one can take you away from you. Remember, you are untouchable and divine. There is one exception to the rule, though. You can affect yourself. Self-destruction is something of a problem. There does seem to be a remedy to this crisis. It is understanding. When you understand why you cannot have what you want, it almost has a magical effect on the inner conflict. It's time to examine why you are probably going to die.